Hello, IP John here. Welcome to PhysicsBible, aka the Triune Physics, where learning physics gets a whole lot more fun. Recall, we've treated introduction to motion on this channel, and we're able to define motion as a change in position of an object in respect to time, if you can remember. Well, today we want to delve into the reason for the action of motion. What actually causes motion on an object, or humans generally, because even humans carry out the action of motion on daily basis. So it means what actually causes motion. Do check our channel for that tutorial video and click on the link as displayed above. Now, to answer the question as to what causes movement, which is motion, the idea of today's topic manifests itself. We have been talking about the motion of a body without regard to what causes the motion. Now, we want to ask why a body at rest moves, or what makes it to move. Your writing desk will not move unless you push or pull it. It moves away from you when you push it, and it moves towards you when you pull it. So, welcome to the introduction to force, the cause of motion. So what exactly is force? Is it a mystical power that makes superhero fly? Or maybe just your mom telling you to clean your room? Yeah, probably not this kind of force, unless you are secretly a superhero. But let's stick to the basic. What is force? Alright, so force is what makes stuff move. Exactly? Or, makes it stop from moving. It can be big, small, pushy, or pulley. Force is a push or pull that can change the motion of an object. Underline the word object. Underline the word motion. Underline the word push or pull. So what are the triune components of force? Based on that definition, number one, we have the pull or push on a body. Number two, the effect, which is it causes change in position. And number three, the object, the recipient of the action of force. It could be in a solid form as a solid body, liquid body, gaseous body, or even plasma as a state of matter. Now, what is the biblical concept for a force? In Ephesians 6 verse 10, it says, "Finally, my brethren," my brethren here signifies the body, "be strong in the Lord." Be strong in the Lord, the force, and in the power of his might. Be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. So this is by interpretation a supernatural force. So by definition, let's look at that in Matthew chapter 8 verse 9. Biblical definition of force. "For I am a man," that is the body, "under authority," that is the force, "having soldiers under me," the body. "And I say to this man, I is the source of the force. To this man is the recipient of the force, the object. Go," that is the push, "and he goeth." He has to move in the direction of the force applied, and he goeth. "And to another, come." Another is the body, the recipient of the force. "Come," which is the pull, "and he cometh." It has to come towards the direction of the force. "And to my servant, do this, and he doeth it." So you can see the practical definition and demonstration of force as seen in the scriptures. Now, sometimes it's really hard to push stuff. Trust me, this is not the kind of force I'd want to deal with on a Monday morning. First, a push or a pull causes motion. If a force is a pull or push, therefore force causes motion. So a force can move a body, it can change its direction, it can slow its motion, or even stop its motion. So what are the triune effects of force on a body? Number one, motion. Number two, direction. And number three, it slows or it stops a body. So in physics, there is another definition of a force. Using mathematical expression, force is defined as the mass, which is the object, multiplied by acceleration, which is motion. The highest level of motion is acceleration. Take note of that. So when force is applied on an object of mass, it has to move in the direction of the force, which is why force, capital letter F, is equal to mass M multiplied by acceleration A. Let's look at push and pull in the scriptures directly. In Isaiah chapter 22 verse 19, "And I will drive." The drive here means push. "And I will drive thee from thy station." Can you see force being manifested? "And I will drive thee from thy station. It means, and I will push you from your station. The you there is the object. The station is the position. And from thy state shall he pull thee down. So underline the word push, which is drive, and pull thee down. Then Psalm 31 verse 4. Pull me out of the nets that they have laid privily for me, for thou art my strength, for thou art my force. So God is the supernatural force that will pull this man out of the nets that is laid for him privily. I hope you understand that concept. In 2 Corinthians 10:4, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of stronghold, force being manifested, because the weapons of warfare, they are spiritual warfare, and they are mighty through God, which is the source of the force. Now, in the Bible, force can be likened to God's power and influence, which acts on creation, guiding it according to his will. Here are some scriptural parallels. Number one, God's power as a force in creation in Genesis 1:3. And God said, which is the author or the origin of force. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. So you can see force being demonstrated. The power, which is force of God's word, bringing creation into motion and order. In Job chapter 26 verse 7 to 8, he spreads out the northern skies over empty space. Can you see it? Force being manifested on an object over a distance. He suspends the earth over nothing. God's force maintains the balance of creation, like the forces in physics uphold motion and stability. Then force as transformation and acceleration. You can see that in Isaiah 40 verse 29 to 31. He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak, which is the force. Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. So, just as force accelerates objects, God's strength accelerates spiritual and physical growth. I hope you understood that concept. Number 3, faith as supernatural or spiritual force. In Matthew 17:20, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, nothing will be impossible for you. So faith acts as a spiritual force that enables believers to overcome obstacles. The believers here are the objects, akin to how force enables objects to overcome resistance. Force overcoming resistance. In Philippians 4 verse 13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. It means I, the object, can do all things, can move through Christ, the author of the force, who strengthens me, who empowers me. This verse reflects how God's strength, which is the force, helps believers, the object, overcome life's resistance, which is what? Opposing forces like challenges or sin, which becomes friction. Number 5, divine order and law of motion. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. This aligns with Newton's law of motion, where every action, which is force, has a purpose, reflecting divine order. This integration gives us an idea of force when you try to connect physics and the Bible. So force is a vector quantity having magnitude, which is size, and direction. So the dimensional formula for force can be calculated by using the formula for force. Now, the origin of vector quantity, force as a vector quantity. Let's look at that in the scriptures. Daniel chapter 8 verse 4. I saw the ram pushing westward. Can you see it? Force is defined as the push or pull on a body. Now, I saw the ram, the object, pushing westward. Westward is direction, and northward direction, and southward direction, so that no beast might stand before him. Can you see this? Neither was there any that could deliver out of his hand, but he did according to his will and became great, according to his own force, and he became great. Vector quantity. Daniel 11:40. And at the time of the end shall the king of the south push at him. Can you see the south direction? Push at him. The push is a force. At him, the object. And the king of the north shall come against him like a wild wind with chariots, and with horsemen, and with many ships, and he shall enter into the countries, and shall overflow and pass over. I hope you understood this concept. So force is also defined as a mass multiplied by acceleration. So mathematically, force F is equal to mass multiplied by acceleration m multiplied by a. But acceleration A is equal to delta V over T, which is change in velocity over time. So by substituting for A, which is acceleration, F is equal to mass multiplied by change in velocity over time. But change in velocity is equal to distance over time. So by substitution, force F is equal to mass multiplied by distance all over time multiplied by time. So that if you convert that to dimensional formula using MLT, then you have force is equal to uppercase M multiplied by uppercase L, all divided by uppercase T multiplied by uppercase T. If you rewrite that, then you know that the symbol capital letter M represents mass, capital letter LT raised to the power negative 2 gives you the dimensional formula for acceleration, and hence the dimensional formula for force is MLT raised to the power negative 2. Ever tried opening a pickle jar? That is force at work. You are applying force to overcome the force of the lead's grip. It's like the lead is in its own little battle against you, or when you release a balloon and it's like it's fighting gravity to escape. Force doesn't care if you are trying to have a peaceful afternoon with your snacks. So force in motion. Force don't just sit around, they get things moving like a rocket blasting off into space. And guess what? You are gonna learn how to make things move too. All you need is the right force at the right time. Or in my case, it's applying force to get moving and tripping over my own feet. The importance of force. Here's the thing. Understanding force isn't just for nerds who love physics or Bible. It's everywhere, from sports to cars to even dancing. It's what makes everything in our world tick. So the importance of force in physics, force is essential in understanding the mechanics of the universe. Force governs the motion, interaction, and balance of objects in nature. Without force, movement and change in direction will be impossible. Let's highlight its importance while drawing scriptural parallels. Number 1, force causes motion. In physics, force is necessary to move an object from rest or to stop a moving object. Without force, there will be no motion. In Bible, in Acts chapter 17 verse 28, for in him we live and move and have our being. This verse emphasizes that God is the ultimate force, enable life and motion, both physically and spiritually, which is why for in him, the author of the force, we live and move, which is motion, and have our being, the totality. Number 2, force maintains balance. Balanced forces keep objects stable, ensuring equilibrium of forces. For example, gravity, a force, holds us to the earth, preventing chaos in the natural world. Biblical connection in Colossians chapter 1 verse 17. He is before all things, and in him all things hold together. Just as forces like gravity hold the universe in order, God's power sustains all creation, which is the object. Number 3, force enables change in position or in direction. So force is the reason for changes in the state of an object, whether it's speeding up, slowing down, or changing direction. What are the biblical connections? In 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 17. Therefore, if anyone, the object, is in Christ, the author, which is the force, the new creation has come, the motion. The old things, the old has gone, the new is here. So God's transformative power, which is spiritual force, changes hearts and life, just as physical force changes the motion of objects. Number 4, force overcomes resistance. In life and physics, resistance opposes motion, which is friction. Force is essential to overcome such resistance. What is the biblical connection? In James chapter 4 verse 7. Submit yourselves, which is the object, then to God, the source of the force. Resist the devil, the author of frictional force, and he will flee from you. I hope you are getting this. Friction will reduce once motion is in place. So like force overcoming friction, reliance on God enables believer to overcome challenges and opposition. Number 5, force drives progress. From launching rockets to enabling daily movement, force is behind all technological and natural progress. In Philippians 3 verse 13 and 14, forgetting what is behind and straining toward what is ahead, moving toward what is ahead, which is motion. I press on toward the goal, which is the mark. You can see motion. Just as force pushes an object forward, God empowers individuals to move forward in purpose and in progress. So, are you ready to conquer the world of physics with force? Stick with me in this channel, because in the next episode, we'll dive into the different types of forces that rule our universe. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. And hey, if you enjoyed this one, hit that like button and subscribe to join our wild physics adventure. Remember, force might not make your bed for you, but it can make physics a whole lot more fun. Hence, force and energy are related. If energy is present, then it propels and galvanizes the effectiveness of force. Without force, energy will not be utilized. And without energy, force cannot be applied. I hope you get this part. Connect to our social media handles at PhysicsBible, the TriunePhysics, for latest update. Thanks for joining us. Stay equipped. Stay liquid.